On the 16th of March, 2018, I still got tons of snow and the ground is froze hard, and so it's hard to get rid of all the ice. I have to chip it away. It'll be a while before any planting is going to happen, and the ice is slowly melting. I get very little ice on this pond here. I mean, a few days ago it was completely covered in ice because I haven't used the heater for about 2 weeks now, even though we've had temperatures down to minus 10 and minus 14. The daytime is warm enough that it's really not necessary to heat the pond, right? Because there's not going to be any danger of super chilled water, because that's impossible. You can't have super chilled water in your pond. You have to have pure water in order to have super chilled water, okay? Because our water contains too many minerals and salts, as all the water on the planet. See, I'm pulling the algae away. Get string algae this time of year. All the water on the planet flows off the earth. Oops. And what happens is the water flowing on the land picks up minerals and salts, so you don't have pure water. That's why when you're boiling a kettle of water on the stove, your kettle will have to be descaled because you get all kinds of mineral buildup. So it's not pure water. I know it sounds strange. Yes, it's not pure water, because pure water is like Fiji water or distilled water, which is void of all minerals and all salts. It has to be super, super pure in order to super chill or super cool the water. So it cannot happen in your pond. That's an impossibility. Okay? That's why Niagara Falls, the world's largest volume of water on one of the coldest places on earth in Ontario there. It can get pretty cold. That Niagara Falls has never froze over completely. Almost did 1 year, they said, in recorded history, but of course the water was still flowing under the ice and it appeared to be frozen. But some of the best fishing is from below the falls in Niagara Falls. Go look it up. Fishing under Niagara Falls, and look at all the big beautiful fish in the ice cold water. Okay, and there's no super chill water happening in Niagara Falls, so there's no danger of you having super chilled water in your pond. Okay, like, we have to stop that myth. It's like, it scares people into shutting their ponds down, and then the koi, like if it gets really cold, they can suffocate. If the whole pond is covered in ice, right, and the water is not flowing at all, if you don't even have an aerator or whatever, if you have no water movement or not enough water movement, and you have large koi, right, bad things can happen. That's why I keep my ponds running all year. And today I got the spinning balls going. You see how the water goes down, down, down. There's 4 ponds. I only use one heater for all 4 ponds. Although I haven't had to heat the pond now for a couple of weeks, even though there was ice just a few days ago completely covering the pond. I want to show you, when I lower the ball, when I lower the hose, right, the ball slows. And in the winter I take the ball away and lower the hose, and I continue the same amount of flow, but it just is not thrashing and splashing so much because I don't want a huge amount of ice buildup. So, but right now I want to simulate an early spring runoff. Usually I do this in February, but it's been colder than normal. So I'm doing it now because the plastic that was covering the pond was stuck to the ground and froze to the ground, and I couldn't get it off. I'm still having trouble getting it off. It was covered in heavy, dense snow. There's the water that's been flowing all winter there. Coming down. And there's quite the collection of goldfish down here. A lot of them are still hiding under the marshy yellow flag. And everybody is still alive and well in the flowing water. The water moves down here. And there's a slower flow to this pond, although I'm going to correct that as soon as I can get my hand in there and switch the pump. One of the pumps quit working last fall. Yeah, this old pump here quit working. It was attached to Easy Biofilter. Those are the specs on it. I can't even hardly read what kind it is, but I'll see if Rob can fix it. Yeah, Rob from Animal World, he's our local pond guy here in town, and he's really good at fixing the pumps. I've had him fix a lot of my pumps. So I've raised the water level here in the bottom pond. You can see the ice is breaking up now. There was previously a thick ice covering, but this afternoon I've raised it, and that will and I've got a ball spinning over in the corner, but that'll help get rid of the ice on the bottom. I get the most amount of ice on the bottom. Like I said, there was a thick ice shell there this morning. It's melted away, and I rarely get much ice in the upper ponds, even if it's minus 40, because I use one heater, one 1500 watt heater in the upper pond. Cover these ponds with the cold frame, and because the upper ponds, the water is always at the same level, the level of the ice, it eats away at the ice and melts the ice. That's why I have very little ice, and people down south have a lot of ice still. It's the way that the pond is built and designed. See how mine? You see how the water is lapping at the ice there? Oh, I played with that a bit, but over there as well, there's a little bit of ice that's not quite melted, but it will melt. That water, that ice there is slightly above the water. You see the ice here. If it's, you can see where it's at the water level, but here where it's above the water, right? Broom now, I can get in here. I can be assured that my koi aren't suffering and stuck under a ton of ice, right? You want them stuck under a ton of ice with no water circulation, because when there's no sun today, but say you have like a cover of ice and not much circulation going on, and then the sun heats up through the ice, and that shell can turn into the greenhouse effect. The water below can warm up, but without enough oxygen, the koi can start to suffocate, or the water quality can diminish. So it's good to simulate, like in nature, an early spring runoff right there. Water is flowing like the river or the creek right there, down to the bottom pond. And that's why the rivers and the creeks all break up and the ice is gone off them. Sometimes 2 full months before the lakes in the same area, because the lakes aren't moving as fast. And the water can fall below the ice, so it takes longer. So yeah, flow your water. Flow your pond water as soon as you can, or leave the pumps run all winter if you can. Or if you don't want to run your main pumps, you can shut your main pumps down, do your usual winter thing, and hook up an alternative smaller pump with a good filter and run that. That'll help. That'll allow the fish to have, better quality of water. So everybody's looking well. Melt your ice. Raise the level of the water to the level of the ice. And your ice, on a nice day, like it's early spring, I doubt I'm going to get minus 40 anytime soon. So the ice in the bottom pond should be gone by tomorrow. And we'll have a look-see tomorrow. Stay tuned, everybody, and have a happy St. Paddy's Day tomorrow.